Well, another busy day in the ACC, and we get to put the cap on it. We're here in Central New York tonight at the JMA Wireless Dome. Only meeting of the regular season between the Wolfpack of NC State and the Orange of Syracuse. Great to be with Dan Bonner, West Durham. We welcome you courtside here tonight for our coverage. It's interesting. Syracuse is in here. Disappointing loss the other night to Florida State, but they still pack the number 3 scorer in the ACC in Judah Mintz.
And one of the most exciting guards you want to see, Wes, and Judah Mintz. He is a guy who's a capable three-point shooter, hasn't shot the three well in conference play, but he can get into the lane. He doesn't always drive all the way to the basket. He's really good with the pull-up, and in transition, he is extremely dangerous. You got to stop him, and that's harder to do than it is to say. Well, when he gets in the lane, he is very difficult to stop, and he draws fouls and gets to the line.
He set 20 or more in 2 of his last 4. The breaking news in the last half hour is Kevin Keatts is going to go with his 5th different lineup of the year tonight, and it is one that does not feature DJ Burns, Dan.
But Kevin Keatts told us this afternoon that when you lose 2 games in a row, you have to make some changes, and obviously DJ Burns not being in the starting lineup is one of the changes. But as you look at those numbers there, we will see an awful lot of DJ Burns. They run an awful lot of things through him. We will see a lot of it. Well,
Kevin Keatts, of course, 51 years of age, from Lynchburg, Virginia, is now in season number 7 in Raleigh, and his team is 5-3. They sit tied with Wake Forest, who had the bye on this Saturday. A win tonight would move them into a tie with Virginia and Florida State at 6-3. And this is season number 1 for Adrian Autry. As the head coach of his alma mater, he'll turn 52 in late February. A native of the Bronx and a guy who has embraced the opportunity to follow his mentor and the legend in Jim Boeheim. And away we go. Ron Gruber, Tony Henderson, Brent Hampton on the whistle, and Mintz and the Orange have the ball first here tonight.
And Jaden Taylor is matched up against Mintz.
Bell from deep, and the rebound pulled away by Taylor.
Now you want to get Bell going early. I think he's got to make some threes for the Orange to be really successful, but maybe not that early in the shot clock and not that deep.
Both these teams have some shooting woes in league play that will outline. Here's Ben Middlebrooks. Ball got poked away by Malik Brown, who, by the way, has been terrific, especially on defense.
He's really been he's a guy who normally would play the 4 spot, the power forward, but he's got to play the 5, and he's used his quickness very effectively.
Quick bounce pass, knocked away, turned over. In transition, Taylor. Back for Starling. Short jumper rims off. Diarra cleans it up.
Well, so you talked about shooting woes. That's part of it. That's a shot that Syracuse will take every time down the court. And here they get another steal.
Another turnover for Mintz. Skip for Starling. Justin Taylor, of course, the sophomore from Charlottesville, Virginia. Here's the lineup on the Orange, of course. Brown, Bell, Taylor, Mintz, and Starling. And that ball got thrown away to Kevin Keatts.
Well, he's wearing white, and so he was open. This is just a good pivot, and he's looking, I think, for Taylor. He wanted Taylor to step up, and Taylor didn't. But as I say, Kevin Keatts is wearing white, and he was all alone over there.
Yep. Here is Taylor. Morcell. We got a couple of Taylors here. That's turned over because Mintz was out in the passing lane on a ball for Horn. It was interesting to talk to Adrian Autry about how you defend NC State because, as you said, Dan, they're explosive on the perimeter. He talked about the way NC State would defend him and the way he thought they had to attack the Wolfpack. Here's Mintz, a crossover, got to the basket. Middlebrooks clears it away.
Got to the basket, West, but that was a little bit of an awkward play.
Of course, the crowd here at the Dome still standing, a tradition for the Orange for many years, waiting on the first Syracuse basket. Morcell. Bounce pass from Middlebrooks, 10 to shoot. And that got knocked away by Brown.
The quickness of the Syracuse players on defense with the quick hands, they're knocking the ball away time and time again. NC State's turned it over 3 consecutive possessions.
7 to shoot, Morcell. Cannot work around the front of Brown. Here he is in the lane with the right hand. Bounds off. Now we're going to get a foul, I believe. Middlebrooks.
Yes.
Tony Henderson out from underneath. Tags Ben Middlebrooks. the Clemson transfer, with his first and the first on the pack.
It's a really good spin by Morcell to get away from Brown, but he was off balance, so pretty good defense by Malik Brown.
But with 2 minutes gone, we're still scoreless. Justin Taylor, he plays for Syracuse. Jaden Taylor plays for NC State, and so does J.J. Starling for the Orange, and he puts Syracuse on the board.
Really good ball movement that time by Syracuse West. The ball went side to side a couple of times, moved the defense, and then Starling attacked the basket.
Diarra back in the corner from Morcell. Orange making it really difficult on the pack. Middlebrooks up 3, bounds away, and finally the Wolfpack recover. Skip to the corner. Taylor will launch. State in front on the triple by Jaden Taylor. And here's quickly front court, a catch and shoot by Starling, who answered.
The Orange do not mind playing in transition. That was a really good cross-court pass by Mintz.
Morcell to the basket on the drive, and he'll draw the foul, and Casey Morcell is down. The foul is on Malik Brown, sophomore's first.
Weston, North Carolina State's a team that likes to play in transition too. And when you run down on offense and score, sometimes there's a tendency to not get back quickly on defense, and Morcell just gives himself up here. Boy, he landed right on his hip.
Jay, thanks very much. We welcome you to the JMA Wireless Dome. We played 3 minutes and 8 seconds. The Orange in front of the pack, 5-3. The foul on Brown puts Casey Morcell at the line. 81% free throw shooter. Michael O'Connell checks into the ball game for the Wolfpack. The story for NC State tonight coming in, as you see Morcell, the grad student from Fort Washington, Maryland, who grew up very close friends of Syracuse's Judah Mintz. Kevin Keats mixed up his lineup tonight, and it did not feature DJ Burns. Here's the starting 5 he went with, and Horn, Taylor, Morcell, Mohamed Diarra, and Ben Middlebrooks all have started along the way this year, but not this lineup. They've all been with DJ Burns in the lineup.
And we will see Burns, but he's just not in to start the game.
No, he's in his customary standing spot at the end of the Wolfpack bench. Starling, another 3. J.J. Starling has got 8. In fact, he's got all 8 of the Orange points here.
And he's got off to a very slow start shooting the 3, but in conference play, Starling has really picked it up from out there. Man-to-man.
Little trap action there to the right corner. Here is Diarra. Working against Taylor, he'll launch and hit. Mohamed Diarra's 5th 3 of the year. Not at the top of the scouting report.
No. I think if he's going to shoot that one, you put pressure on him.
Starling again. Backward miss. Diarra cleans it up for the pack.
And NC State likes to push it, Wes.
Horn a 3. Diarra tried to keep it alive, could not. It'll belong to the Orange. But we get a timeout here in Central New York, underway tonight on a Saturday night, and J.J. Starling has started off with a couple of 3s behind the line, and we are locked up at 8. Hey, it's ACC Network basketball analyst Jim Boeheim in the building tonight, huh?
Busman's holiday, Wes?
Yeah, he's here tonight because his former teammate, the legendary Dave Bing, there he is, will go into the Ring of Honor at halftime tonight here at the JMA Wireless Dome. And of course, that's the subplot, and here is the plot in action. DJ Burns not on the floor. Dan, we've played 4.5 minutes here.
Yeah, DJ Burns is just like Jim Boeheim and Dave Bing so far. He's a spectator.
Yep.
And that's a little bit of a surprise.
So we'll keep an eye on that. Wolfpack and Orange tied at 8. Syracuse the ball after his last touch by State going to the timeout. Shooting is such a critical integer in this game tonight, Dan, because neither particularly pleased with the way they've been doing it lately.
Well, you got to get good ball movement to get good shots.
Mintz trying to break away from Horn with the dribble. Here's Starling, who's off to a really good start. High off the glass and in. All 10 of the Orange points belong to J.J. Starling.
You can't, if you're on defense, you can't be so focused on Mintz that you forget about other guys.
O'Connell, right side, Morcell, 3-ball. Bounces out. Burns coming to the table with Dennis Parker Jr. for the Wolfpack. So we'll see the big man for the Wolfpack here in a moment as we've played just better than 5 of this first half. Mintz a little fall away. Middlebrooks the rebound.
That was a mismatch Mintz liked, Wes, but he didn't do a good job taking advantage of it. That was a very tough shot.
Diarra backing inside against Bell. Chris Bell, a nice play defensively.
Bell is not noted as a shot blocker, Wes. His specialty is the three-point shot.
Taylor working against O'Connell. Morcell had Mintz. They tried to get the ball screen on the little pocket pass. It'll bound away and stay with the arm. That's going to allow Benny Williams and Kadir Copeland to get in the ball game. Burns and Parker for the Wolfpack. But J.J. Starling's got all 10 of Syracuse points here.
Well, he's got twice as many shots, Wes. But he's the guy who's been the most aggressive.
Curious to see how 30 in the red handles this, Dan. Coming off the bench.
Yep.
Mintz against O'Connell. Spots for a 3, and it'll bound away. Dennis Parker Jr., the freshman from Richmond, Virginia. Played at John Marshall. The rebound.
Now keep in mind, Malik Brown already has a foul, and he is going to go against DJ Burns.
And Burns calling for it, well out. Skips it all the way across. Parker will launch and hit. Wow, Dennis Parker's 12th 3 of the year. He was scoreless in 19 minutes the other night at Virginia after 5 straight double-figure games prior to that.
Wes, you got to put a little more pressure on Burns when he's in that particular spot on the court.
Stayed in front. Shot rattled out from Bell or Benny Williams and recovered and scored by Malik Brown. 72% field goal shooters, Malik Brown. If they're all like that, that number will go up. And Horn answers. DJ Horn now steps into a 3. Dan, he's the number 2 3-point shooter in the league coming in at 43%.
He had a tough game the other night against Virginia, but he seems to be on track so far here this evening.
2-point lead for NC State. Here's Mintz against Horn. Benny Williams on the switch has Horn and scores. Wow.
NC State does a lot of switching, Wes, and Benny Williams that time did a really good job taking the ball against the smaller man. I wasn't thrilled with the fall away, but it worked.
Sure did. Here's Burns now, top of the circle against Brown. Hands to O'Connell. Skip into the corner. Parker feeling it. Nope. Rebound on the backside. Mintz collects. Judah Mintz is scoreless. That might be a storyline here too with almost 8 minutes gone, and it still is. Boy, the Wolfpack is trying to create tempo off the miss, aren't they? O'Connell threw it away. Mintz stuck a hand in, trying to get it to Burns.
That was a great job by Mintz. He got knocked down and didn't complain about no foul being called. He jumped right back up, and he helped out his teammate Brown.
Mintz inside, here's Brown. Baseline, Copeland in the air. Right back into Kadir Copeland. Put it up, rolled off. Burns the rebound, here's the outlet for Horn. DJ Horn takes Starling to the basket, couldn't finish. Bodies down, no whistle, and away we go the other way. Mintz against Burns, blocked. And a foul will be called on Burns. Brent Hampton's going to ticket Burns for his first. Second on the Wolfpack. DJ not happy. Don't blame him, by the way.
It's a 2-on-1 break, but if you're going to have one back, that's the one you want back. And Mintz, he decides he's just going to attack him. And Burns gets called for the foul, Wes, I believe, because he drops his arm.
Well, the Hall of Famer looks on. Game is tied at 14. 8.5 gone in this opening frame.
I'll never forget the first day I saw Dave Bang. We playing full court. He went down and dunked two-handed over somebody, and I'm like going, I have never seen this before. The whole building went crazy. They just wanted to come and see Dave Bing play. He turned the worst basketball program in the country into a top program. Dave Bing's the best player that ever played at Syracuse. It's not even close. Dave Bing started it all.
Well, and tonight he will be honored appropriately, Dan, in this building and by his university, because you can pick up Dave Bing's story in Detroit and know that he is one of the players who was not only the top 50 NBA at the 50th anniversary of the NBA, he was also on the 75th anniversary team, right? I mean, how much more do you need to say about your basketball life? And then the impact he's had in the Detroit community. He's mayor of Detroit, for heaven's sakes, right?
I mean, one of the most amazing things, Wes, is in the era that Dave Bing played, after his rookie season, he went to get a mortgage and couldn't get it because he didn't make enough money. And so he went to work at the bank. And so that's one of the things that he did. You know, guys of his era in the NBA had to have jobs in the offseason.
Yeah. Amazing, you know, basketball life that has been so much more. And Dave Bing will be put to the Ring of Honor here at Syracuse at halftime tonight. We look forward to visiting with him here in the second half. And Mintz's first points come at the free throw line.
Wes, and not just a basketball life and a short political life, but a career as a businessman, an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Orange back in front. O'Connell, Parker, along with Taylor, Burns, and Horn now for the Wolfpack. And here's Peter Carey, who got some minutes the other night against Florida State against the big fella. Burns couldn't finish, and it looked like Parker tried to stuff it home, and it rattled out on him.
That's pretty good defense.
So Peter Carey, the sophomore from Sunderland, Mass, played just 2 minutes the other night against Florida State. He's on the floor now to contend with 3-0 in the red. Here's Starling on a kick out. Copeland. Front rim miss there. And here's a long lead for Horn. And in transition, the Wolfpack have got DJ Horn's second field goal.
Well, you got to be really careful, Wes, about taking threes early in the shot clock, because if you get that long rebound, NC State really likes to get out and go.
Copeland to the top off the Carey screen. Here is Benny Williams.
Now he's matched up against Horn. He needs to get himself down low.
Kyle Cuff's coming to the ball game too.
Ball hasn't hit the rim.
Here's Carey. Bounds away. Williams right back around O'Connell, and it rimmed out. Benny's third try, no good. And O'Connell out of there with it. Pack in traffic, 3-on-2, and Parker couldn't finish. I think Copeland might have gotten a piece of it.
Each team missed point-blank range shots, Wes.
Tell it all. We said they had shooting woes,
yeah,
but
we didn't mean it that much.
Exactly. On the drive, Cuff blocked. Here is Starling, 5 to shoot. He's looking for a screen. Carey helps Starling from the parking lot. A back rim miss. He was almost in the block S.
And you just feel NC State has turned up the defensive intensity here.
Burns calling for it on Carey. See when the double team shows up. It doesn't. Kicks for Horn's three, and that's an air ball. And with that, here comes Diarra and sophomore L.J. Thomas for Keats in the lineup. And meanwhile, Malik Brown and Chris Bell both come back for the Orange, replacing Carey and Starling for Red Autry.
Well, Starling has been the biggest part of the offense tonight, so the Orange are going to have to generate something with him on the bench. But Mintz just has not been able to get going so far.
Orange have gone a couple minutes without any points here. Trailed by only one. Brown looking for help. Bounce past Williams. And I believe L.J. Thomas commits the foul. Thomas played 3 minutes at Virginia the other night. He had not played in the previous 6 games. Last year he played only 11 minutes against the ACC.
You lose a couple of games in a row, Wes. You're looking for combinations. You're looking for anybody to give you a spark.
Yep. So Williams on the baseline. And now for Mintz. 15 to shoot. Bell against Diarra. Left side here's Williams. Now Starling with 5 to shoot. High arcing threes and air ball. Diarra recovers.
NC State has done a pretty good job keeping the orange out of the lane.
Yep. Burns trying to help Taylor. Working on Bell. Cross over to the foul line. Look at Diarra fight through. There's DJ Burns, and it rolls in. First points for the grad student from Rock Hill, South Carolina. At the other end, Bell hits.
Well, that's what he does. And he really is good in transition.
45th three of the year for Bell. His first points tonight.
That's one
sophomore ties the game.
That really needs to go in the basket because there's nobody else down the court.
Orange have hit just one of their last 11 now. Burns had it poked away by Brown. 10 to shoot for State.
Now if you're Brown, back off.
There goes DJ. Whirling Dervish with it. Gets it to Diarra. Leaner on the baseline. Missed everything. Here's Starling, who started red hot tonight. Lead skip for Brown and a foul on Morsell. So Casey Morsell draws his first. 4 on the pack. We are tied at 18. We play on a Saturday night on ACC Network. Dan, it seems kind of interesting to run this number, but it also shows you how young Adrian Autry's team is. 91% of their scoring comes from the sophomore class. Nothing from seniors and freshmen. 9% from the juniors, huh?
Wes, the amazing thing, they're the only, as you can see, they're the only D1 school that has no points from freshmen or seniors. And Starling, he's been leading the way tonight. His backcourt buddy, Judah Mintz, has yet to score.
Yep. Well, J.J. Starling, transfer from Notre Dame, who a year ago averaged 10 points and had 8 double-figure games, but was bothered by a shoulder issue, had some knee issues late, kind of missed, the last 10% or so of the conference schedule, maybe a few more games than that. But he looks just fine here tonight in the first half. And ball got knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Orange here.
His Orange teammates have to help Judah Mintz when he does that. When he drives into the lane, you can't stand there and watch. You got to find an open spot where he can throw you the ball.
And 16 to shoot. Here's Bell out of the corner. That's a 3. Second one of the half for Chris Bell.
And that's a very good sign for Syracuse when Bell is making 3.
Yep, 3-point lead for the Orange. Just ahead of 7 minutes to go. So L.J. Thomas, the sophomore, stays on the floor. The runner with the right hand fell off the front. And Brown pulled that away.
Judah Mintz stops to have a conversation with Adrian Autry.
Yeah. And Jaden Taylor has Judah Mintz. That's no surprise if you follow the Wolfpack that Taylor's on the arguably the most volatile of the Orange.
But they switch a lot, and so now Thomas is on Mintz.
Yep. And here's Taylor switching to Starling, who's off to the start and hits the long 2. Well, that's a dozen in the first half for J.J. Starling. Tell you what, the old secret sauce from Jerry McNamara at the shoot-around today is paying off. 15 to shoot for State. Orange on an 8-0 run the last 2 minutes. And a turnover by Wolfpack.
Again, quick hands, and Brown is really good at stealing the ball in this.
Yes. Into traffic, and 1, if it counts. No, Ron Gruber says on the deck. Foul is on L.J. Thomas. It'll be his second. Don't forget, ACC basketball continues on Tuesday night. Men's card starts at 7. Conte Forum in Chestnut Hill. Mike Monica, Randolph Childress will be there. Second meeting of the year of the Orange and the Eagles. And then Dan and I will be at Little John. Boy, will Clemson be lathered up.
Wow,
lost today.
Really tough loss
at
today.
Duke, and they draw Louisville. Bell the 3. Wow. Orange pouring it in now from behind the line. That's 9 for Bell on 3 threes. I got Syracuse with 5 triples in this first half and an 8-point lead. 11-0 run by Autry's Orange. And the Cuse up 8 at home. Well, you see Jerry McNamara, of course, who played at Syracuse, member of the national championship team, 2003 at New Orleans when they beat Kansas. And today, during the optional shoot-around for Syracuse, he spent, what, 20 minutes with J.J. Starling? When you say, Dan?
Yeah, what he was telling us, Wes, was that J.J. Starling had a shoulder problem, and he had a problem with his he had an impingement up in his shoulder.
Right.
And so his shooting motion extended.
Here's the turnover, and Bell with a hammer.
Wow.
Elevator went up for Chris Bell, and now a technical foul
on Chris Bell. I think for taunting.
And Ron Groover called the technical foul on Bell, which will also be Bell's first personal foul.
He was excited about that dunk, and he was excited about that last three before the timeout. And he just picks up the ball. Now he's looking around, and there's nobody around, so he's just going to dunk it. And then there wasn't anything there, but as he went back up the court and he was passing the North Carolina State guys, there was some sort of a gesture that I missed. But Ron Groover didn't.
Second team foul. And Casey Morsell gets both the free throws. But to finish the point about Starling here real quick.
But they said that his shooting motion, his arms were extended.
Right.
And Jerry McNamara's trying to bring him back in here so his shot isn't quite such a long kind of thing. And he has really improved with that. His motion is more compact, and because it's more compact, he's shooting the ball much better.
It was interesting to watch the drill take place and the teaching take place today during the shoot-around, because Starling made just the one move almost with the right hand, and immediately shots started going down for him.
Well, and if you're going to talk to somebody about shooting,
absolutely,
a pretty good guy to do it.
Tell you what, he's forgotten it more than most know. One of the greatest shooters in Orange history, right? And a shot maker. Here's Horn, turns to Middlebrooks on the drive, and Ben can't score it. And Brown had the rebound, tucked it away, and here is Starling.
Great outlet.
And Starling on the drive and one with the block on O'Connell.
Now, O'Connell did everything he could to get back, Wes. But in this day and age of college basketball, that is a hard play on which to draw a charge. He's trying to get set, but he's got to be set before the offensive player plants his foot before he goes up, and he was late. That's an almost impossible play to get a charge on. That would have been a charge last year, but not this year.
Starling, who had 22 against Miami when he hit 6 threes, has got 14 here in this first half with 5 minutes to play, and the free throw no good. He's averaged 16 and a half, but 8 of his last 20 from 3 coming in. And a foul on Brown as Syracuse launched a double team on Horn. That'll be the second on Malik Brown by my count, Dan. It's the third on the Orange.
Yeah, that's a big call because Brown is such a key player for them inside. And that's a situation where Mintz was coming hard from the backside, and Brown is trying to maintain the trap and just foul the player with the body. You don't want your big guy to be committing fouls out at half court.
Syracuse has hit their last 6 shots. NC State needs a field goal. They've gone 3.5 without one. And trailed by 10 as we go under 5 to play. And to be honest, Judah Mintz has a free throw for his only point of this half. We're talking about the number 3 scorer in the ACC. But his mates have picked him up. And here is Peter Carey, who can't finish. Burns tapped it out. Morsell.
That was a great pass and a great opportunity.
Diarra with Benny Williams there. Skip out for Horn. Here's Burns into traffic. Bounced out. And they scramble around, and Williams has it. DR reached over him to draw the foul. That'll be the first on the junior transfer. Came to Raleigh from Missouri, where he played out there for Dennis Gates. 16 foul. 17th foul, rather, on NC State, Dan, with 4:10 to go in this first half.
And Peter Carey hadn't attempted. Oh, this is Benny Williams shooting, not Carey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Just say Carey hadn't attempted a free throw all year. Still hasn't.
Peter Carey's only attempted 8 field goals. Benny Williams, his 11th free throw in 22 tries, his 3rd point of this half. Syracuse comes in shooting just under 74% as a team at the free throw line. NC State is the 3rd best free throw shooting team in conference play, but Dan is having a hard time getting there. Williams' 2nd free throw is a wedgie, so it will belong to the Wolfpack.
It belonged to the Wolfpack on the possession era, Wes, but that's a break for Syracuse because NC State was going to get that rebound anyway, and now the possession era switches, and the next time it'll go to Syracuse.
O'Connell. Down low, here's Burns. Nice pass, DR. The chance blocked from behind by Williams.
That's a great job by Judah Mintz to get DR just to stop for a second and allow Williams time to come over from the backside.
Starling. Bell at the front. Routed in and out. Chris Bell wanted a foul, didn't get it. O'Connell. And we're going to get a foul here, I believe, on the orange. It's on Peter Carey. That'll take us to a break. 11-point lead for Autry in the orange here. First half continues from the Dome in a moment. Don't forget Thursday night, it's a women's doubleheader presented by Ally. We'll start you in Blacksburg. Oh boy, Commonwealth Cup, right? Hokies and Cavaliers at 6 o'clock. Jen Hildreth, Brooke Weisbrod will be there for that. And then we will take you to Raleigh. Westmore, Courtney Banghart, Reynolds Coliseum at 8 o'clock. Pam Ward, Stephanie White will be there. Number 20, Carolina. Number 7, NC State. It's Thursday night. It's on ACC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Chris Bell averages 10-7 through the regular season, just under 9 against the conference. And Dan, he's got 11 here in this first half.
Well, he's knocked down 3 3-pointers, and that's what he does, Wes. Most of his shots are 3-point shots. He's made 3 3-pointers and a dunk, and that offense has really helped spark the orange.
Horn blocked on the runner, and Carey, I think, committed the foul here. Adrian Autry not happy with Brent Hampton's whistle.
That's 2 really quick ones on Carey.
5th on the orange. And there's Peter Carey.
And remember, Carey is in because Malik Brown picked up his 2nd foul with 5:08 to go in this half.
5 first half points for DJ Horn, make it 6. He's had 20 or more in 2 of his last 4. But Dan, you mentioned this. The struggle was real the other night at Charlottesville. 3 in regulation, 6 in the overtime for his 9 total.
I only made that 1 3-pointer in regulation, then made 2 more in the overtime. But DJ Horn, we've seen him this year, Wes.
Yep.
He doesn't have to shoot the 3 to be effective. He's really good at getting the ball into the lane with that short jump shot.
Horn now with 7 in this first half. In fact, DJ Horn leads NC State in scoring.
And Judah Mintz has yet to score a field goal.
Yep, just a free throw on the back end of a 2-shot try. Orange by 9. Here is Bell. Starling off to a red-hot start tonight. 6 to shoot, and he'll fire for 2. Back rim miss. Look at Parker go get it. Tried to keep it alive. Morcell finally collects it.
Again, North Carolina State continues to do a pretty good job keeping the orange out of the lane in the half-court offense.
Horn thought about it. Here's Mintz. Or rather, Burns inside on Carey. Left it short. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Wolfpack. Well, DJ Burns didn't start tonight. Kevin Keats with a lineup that did not feature the big man for the first time this year. And now all of a sudden, the Wolfpack has missed their last 7 shots from the floor, Dan, and trailed 9 here.
And Burns has only made 1 field goal. Carey doesn't play very much, but he's been very physical with Burns.
Here's Mintz into traffic. Williams tees one up. Rebound Parker.
That's nice defensive help by Burns against Mintz.
Horn, 3-ball. Back rim, long rebound Mintz. Tried to bounce the orange into transition. He'll skip for Bell, 3 away. Carey slapped it out. New 20 for Judah Mintz. On the drive, and Mintz is going to get to the line and down underneath the goal. As you see right at the feet of our inline cameraman.
Well, Mintz, he's really struggled to do this tonight, and that is to get into the lane area. And of course, he's a guy who gets to the free throw line.
Horns first. 8 on the pack. And here is 2 shots. A 1-and-1 it is for Mintz. Wow.
Well, he shoots 78%, but you can see there, he gets to the line.
Look at
a lot.
Oh, and the free throw good. It brings us to a bigger piece about Judah Mintz as he gets his second point. It's how productive the line is for him in a scoring perspective. I mean, the number 3 scorer in the ACC at 18.4. He accumulates a ton of traffic in the book at the line.
Wes, he scores almost 40% of his points from the free throw line.
11-point lead for the Orange. Mintz has got 3. Here's O'Connell. State's gone 6.5 without a field goal. Parker traveled.
That's a really good job by Taylor, running out on defense to cover up and not being out of control. And the fact that he was disciplined was one of the reasons that Taylor walked.
See the turnover differential at 5 already. NC State came into the game 4th in the ACC in turnover margin in conference play. Syracuse was 7th. Here's a backdoor, and Starling's pass got deflected. Mintz collects. 90 seconds to go in the first half. Mintz working against Parker. Got him in the air. He'll throw it up, and here come 2 free throws.
Judah Mintz is laughing because that's exactly what he was trying to do. He can't get past Taylor. He's really having a difficult time. Excuse me, Parker. He wasn't able to get past Parker, but he's able to get him in the air.
So here we go now. Okay. Percentage of points from free throws in conference play, and there's 400 players who qualify for this. And look at this guy who's got a minimum of 100 points in conference play. He's 4th in the country, Dan.
Yeah.
And all these other guys are in single bid leagues. And here is Mintz now, who's gotten the last 3 Syracuse points at the free throw line. And like every coach knows it coming in, right?
Yep, they say one of the things we have to do is keep Judah Mintz off the free throw line. Well, that's much easier said than done. And Wes, you gotta tip your hat to Mintz so far tonight. He has not played as if he's been frustrated because he hasn't been able to make a field goal.
And it takes us to another talking point with Jerry McNamara today about him getting other guys involved, right? The distribution to other guys. Starling in particular early, I thought, kind of set him off here tonight offensively. O'Connell turns it over. The drought for the Wolfpack continues.
And O'Connell doesn't turn it over very often, but that was a very good defensive sequence all around by Bell.
State's only hit 1 of their last 11. They've missed their last 8. On the drive, Mintz again.
Now he's got his first field goal, Wes. And that's what he does so effectively.
He's got 7. He scored Syracuse last 6. And the miss by Burns with under a minute to go.
And again, Carey does a pretty good job. All he did was get in the way, but he got in the way just enough.
Here's Mintz again, and the contact occurs on the way to the basket. And the foul will be on Jaden Taylor. It'll be his first. It is 10 on the Wolfpack.
This is where Mintz is most dangerous, Wes. In transition, he just pushes the ball at the basket. Taylor can't catch up and pushes him from behind.
So 6 in a row from Mintz, a field goal and 4 free throws. He's getting ready to try and add to the total here. Brent Hampton wants to make sure he's okay after the collision with Taylor.
Well, he lost the contact lens. So they got to get the trainer to stick that thing back in quickly.
Mike Mangano is the second-year basketball trainer here for the Orange. And you see He's going to tend to Judah Mintz.
And he's got about 30 seconds. The officials are, they'll give you some time, but you can't take all day with this.
Well, don't forget ACC Wrestling. Friday Night Duels is back. State Carolina, 8:30 Friday night. What do you want else? What else do you want to know? Because I tell you, anytime it's State Carolina, Dan, and in particular wrestling, they'll turn it up at Reynolds for that. Well, it's terrific stuff, by the way. If you haven't seen ACC Wrestling and the Friday Night Duels on ACC Network, it's great theater. And we got terrific programs in this league. And, of course, the Wolfpack have been nationally ranked and contending for national honors here in the last decade and change.
And again, that rivalry between North Carolina and North Carolina State is intense. And on the basketball court, they do a lot of wrestling anyway. So on the wrestling mat, imagine what that's like.
Mintz to shoot 2 here. And the first of the 2 bounds away. And into the ball game comes Monir Hema. He's going to replace Peter Carey. Hema played a minute against Florida State after not playing against Miami. 8th appearance of the year for Hema.
That's a really good job by Carey in the 5-minute stretch.
And Mintz gets the back end of the 2 shots, so he's got 8 here at the half.
He's got 8 Wes, and 6 of them are from the free throw line.
Yep, 38-22. The lead is 16. Starling and Mintz have 22 of the Orange 38. Syracuse has been on a 7-0 run here in the last 90 seconds. State has just won for their last 12 and haven't scored in the last 3 minutes. 10 to shoot, and here's Taylor. Burns on the back down. Left hand over Nema. Rebound Morcell. Tried to put it back up. Ball away on the baseline. Missed everything. Tough the rebound, and it is halftime at the JMA Wireless Dome. Syracuse got off to a strong start behind J.J. Starling, and then Judah Mintz was Judah Mintz as they closed the half. Autry's team leads 38-22 at the break, and the Wolfpack went without a field goal, Dan, the last 8:20.
Wow, Wes, they only had 6 field goals in the entire first half.
Man. Kelsey Riggs, Joel Berry, Carlos Boozer standing by. ACC Network halftime. Orange by 16 at the break.
Welcome to the Auto Owners Insurance Halftime Report.
Coming to you from our ACC Network studios alongside 2 national champs, Carlos Boozer, Joel Berry II, Kelsey Riggs, hanging out with you at halftime. And NC State going to have to do a little bit more in the second half, you guys. A 16-point deficit. Syracuse is rolling. Joel, what's been the key to that success for Syracuse so far in the first half?
Well, first off, NC State is one of the top teams in the conference in creating turnovers, and Syracuse only has 2 turnovers. So what they're taking care of the ball, they're getting really good shots, and that's why they're able to go back on the defensive end and set up and force NC State to play in the half court. So when you don't turn over the ball and you're getting quality shots, this is what happens, and you're able to go back and set your defenses, and why NC State only has 6 field goals.
NC State only has 6 field goals, 12 points in the paint, 12 fast break points for Syracuse. That's the game.
That is the game in the first half, and NC State hoping that that is not the game in the second half. We'll see a 16-point deficit
Gotta make shots
now. Yeah, they got to make shots. They got to do a little bit better of a few things, probably not just making shots, but shooting 21% in the first half. Full hour-long breakdown of everything going on in the conference. Meanwhile, J.J. Starling's got it going on, knocking down the 3. He's got 14 at the break. It's a 16-point lead for the Orange.
We're taking over. Know what I mean?
Highlights from tonight's game, plus reaction. And even though Luke's not here, I think we got some Skywalkers coming your way. Syracuse
That'll do
up
it.
38-22 at the break.
This halftime report is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, second half from the JMA Wireless Dome coming up here on an ACC Network Saturday night. Great to be with Dan Bonner, West Durham. You see Syracuse a 16-point lead. NC State went without a field goal the last 8.5 minutes of the first half. Boeheim's in the building, and the Orange are playing defense.
Well, the amazing thing, Wes, is they got a 16-point lead. They've only shot 37% themselves. But Syracuse did it on the defensive end. And I mean, they stole the ball 7 times. They created 8 turnovers. They scored 9 points off those turnovers and got them good shots down on the other end. But they've done a really good job, Wes, of not only holding them to 20%, but they've rebounded the ball well. It's really been a very good defensive performance. North Carolina State's got to figure something out on the offensive end. You're not going to win very many games when you shoot 21% and turn it over 8 times.
Well, the message for Kevin Keats had to be stern and firm, I'm guessing, at halftime. But he's going to go back to the original starters he began the ball game with here at the start of the second half. Dan, the good news is you probably can't shoot 21% again, but you're going to shoot a really high clip to get back into this one right now.
Well, Wes, we've seen this before with North Carolina State. They were down at the half to Wake Forest. They were down at the half to Notre Dame. They were down, way down at the half to Virginia, and they battled back in the second half. They've got to pick up their intensity on defense, and they've got to get better shots on offense.
Justin Taylor will play with J.J. Starling, Judah Mintz, Chris Bell, Malik Brown, Casey Morsell, DJ Horn, Jaden Taylor, Mohamed Diarra, and Ben Middlebrooks, who started the ball game and only played 8 minutes. And a possession and a foul right off the jump, and it's on Diarra.
And again, that's Mintz being aggressive with the basketball, forces a switch, sees that it's Diarra, and he tries to take the big guy right to the goal.
So the foul on Diarra, his second. First of the half on the Wolfpack. Crowd here at the Dome, of course, on its feet at the start of each half.
He's got another mismatch.
Sure does. 10 to shoot. Taylor. And it's eyeballing now. Oh, here's Diarra. Judah. Oh, how about this? Draws the foul on Diarra, who is furious with himself. It's his third. It's the second of the half.
Well, Diarra is, I mean, he's trying to prevent the three-point shot, but if you're going to do that, I mean, Diarra is 6'9". You just put your hand up and jump straight up in the air. You don't have to jump into Judah Mintz. That's what he wants you to do.
So Judah Mintz had 8 free throw attempts in the first half to give him 173.
Oh.
In this, his 20th game of the year. Some guys don't have 173 in 4 years. He's now 7 for 9 at the line. You really think this is just like one of the more unique wrinkles in a player's game in college basketball, don't you?
I really do, and the ability to get to the free throw line that much.
It was a 2, not a 3. I beg your pardon. I said he was at the line for 3. I beg your pardon.
I thought he was at the line for 3.
Yep. Now they're going to swab the deck a little bit out here between the block S and the head of the circle.
Wes, it's odd for a guy who's a backcourt player to be that dominant from the free throw
line. A 7-footer, a guy who plays at the post, maybe so, right? But not a guy who handles the ball as much as he does. Remember, he averages 18 and 4.5 assists.
He's the point guard.
Yeah. Lead, speaking of 18, that's what the margin is. Here for the Orange. Taylor inside. Middlebrooks will catch an easy score. First point for Ben Middlebrooks out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That's a nice job by Middlebrooks to set the screen, and when they jumped out to try to help to find an open spot.
Crowd still on their feet waiting on that first field goal. Bell was going to oblige. Good back down Horn. 11 to shoot. Turns and scores. 13 now for Californian Chris Bell from Concord.
And you don't often see him with a move in the, back to the basket move in the mid-post area.
He's very comfortable there for his 5th field goal.
Remember, Malik Brown has those 2 personal fouls.
Up and on the switch, Morsell a step back 3. And Middlebrooks the rebound. Back for Taylor, 15 to shoot on the reset, and a foul on Bell, hand check out at the top. Will be the second on Chris Bell. It'll be the first of the half on the Orange. And here comes Dennis Parker Jr. for Mohamed Diarra. Syracuse has won the last 5 in the series. They lead the overall series 12-6, 19th meeting tonight. The first one was in this building December 4, 1990 as part of the ACC Big East Challenge. There's the drive and a
Offensive
foul on Horn.
Pushed off.
Yep. Second on DJ Horn, third on the Wolfpack.
Well, Horn is trying to get to the basket, and he gets the foul there, Wes, because he throws that arm out. Mintz wasn't able to get in front of him, but he had defensive position established on the side, and Horn invaded that defensive position by throwing that arm out there.
Bell, Brown, and here is Starling with 2 minutes gone in the second half. Mintz off the Brown screen, trying to find a path into traffic. Morcell defended him hard, his old buddy from Fort Washington.
But that's where Mintz gets in trouble, Wes. You cannot dominate the ball quite like that. Somebody comes to guard you, you got to get rid of it.
Quick pass got deflected off the offer from Parker, off the window. Here's the orange. A pitch ahead for Brown, intercepted by Dennis Parker. Here's Horn, stops, pops for three and hits. DJ Horn's got double figures now in his third field goal.
And North Carolina State, you got to be very careful. You let them get comfortable in transition. DJ Horn is a guy who can light it up if nobody's guarding him.
On the drive, Starling. He'll push it up and in. 16 for J.J. Starling. And a timeout taken. At the orange bench, we'll step aside. Well, DJ Horn has got 10 tonight. He leads the Wolfpack, and tell you what, he's one of the ACC's best from behind the three-point line, but has only hit a third of them here tonight, Dan.
Well, he's only hit a third of them here tonight, Wes, and his shooting from the three-point line in ACC play has tailed off a little bit. Still shoots 38% in conference games, but I'm telling you, if the Wolfpack is going to come back in this game, I think he's one of the guys who needs to score and score in a big way.
Yep. Well, you look at those guys around him, all of them impacting their teams as we close in on the midpoint of ACC play. By the way, we will reach the middle of the conference season in this week coming up, with ball games on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, of course.
Well, and it's worth noting again that DJ Burns did not start the game, and he has not played so far in this second half.
Yep. Here is a nice pass. Morcell got it to Middlebrooks, and he's fouled on the way up. There's 16:52 to go. Foul is on Bell, I believe. Or no, Starling on the reach. I beg your pardon, Dan.
And Kevin Keats was looking for a lift off the bench from DJ Burns, but coming off the bench, he was only 1 for 6, limited to 2 points.
Ben Middlebrooks, his first free throw of the night. I don't know that his uncle, Danny Cannell, is watching tonight, but that is his uncle, the former Florida State quarterback.
Well, if your nephew was playing, wouldn't you be watching?
Danny was watching an earlier game, found out. There's a foul.
10-second violation.
Second call before the foul. Ron Gruber. Gruber's following us around on Saturday nights, I might add.
Well, he might claim that we're following him.
That could also very well be the case, couldn't it?
But North Carolina State is going to come with the pressure, and despite the fact that they have the big lead, the Orange have to be able to handle the pressure.
Yep. Here's Horn trying to work around the Middlebrook screen at the top. Parker. Here's Big Ben again with 10 to shoot. Middlebrooks off the baseline. Out front, Taylor a three, too strong. Back rim miss, and the rebound pulled away by Malik Brown.
Boy, that's a good rebound.
Sure is. Brown's really carved out a nice role for Adrian Autry's first team here in Central New York. There's Mintz on the drive and another foul. This one on Middlebrooks, his second. Fourth on NC State, and here come 2 free throws for Judah Mintz.
Wes, and we keep saying it, but Judah Mintz, you know, he does drive to the basket in a half-court situation, but he's much more dangerous getting to the goal and drawing fouls in that transition situation. And NC State just a little slow getting back after that rebound. It wasn't a long outlet pass or anything. They just got him the ball, and he pushed it at the defense.
16-point lead for the Orange, and the free throw good for Mintz, who's now got 11 in the game. 9 of 11 at the stripe. Here comes Burns now with 16:14 to go. First time we've seen the big fella. Just 2 points in the first half and 1 rebound. 1 of 6 from the floor, played almost 12 minutes.
Now 1 of 6, I think, Wes, was the key because he missed some shots that he normally makes.
18-point lead again. Wolfpack in the second half. After they're now 8 of 33. They are 2 of 4 before the turnover there. And here's Starling out of the corner for 3. 19 now for Starling, and that's his third 3 of the night.
Wesson, they violated getting the ball inbound.
So NC State, an unforced error, will get us to a break. Largest lead of the night now for the Orange at 21. And when we come back, we will meet the newest Ring of Honor inductee. The legendary Dave Bing is next with us from Syracuse. Well, at halftime tonight here in Central New York, the Ring of Honor acquired its newest member. Long overdue for the great Dave Bing, of course, who, well, there's his old buddy Jim Boeheim, by the way, helping him with that new blazer. And right there on the wall with other legends here at Syracuse University from athletics with Dan Bonner, Wes Durham. A pleasure to be joined by Dave Bing. First of all, congratulations on this marvelous honor.
Well, thank you so very much. So happy to be here and proud of it.
Well, a lot of teammates tonight. I mean, must be a flood of memories, huh?
It is. I mean, we've got friendships that go back 60 years now. I mean, that's unbelievable in itself. We've lost some of the players or some of the teammates, but having 5 of them here out of 7 of us who came in together is just unbelievable. Well,
we're delighted you could spend a few minutes with us here tonight, and just a remarkable basketball life. And Dan and I were talking in the first half, and it started here. I mean, you're from Washington, D.C. Fred Lewis recruits you to come here to play. Just an amazing basketball journey you went on, huh?
Absolutely. And it started here, and it got me ready for the next phase of my life in basketball, but life in general, because I learned so many things here.
Well, the one thing I want to know is you guys, your senior year, you averaged 99 points a game, and you didn't have a shot clock, and you didn't have a three-point line. Explain to us how that happened.
Well, we had a full-court pressing defense, and we forced a lot of turnovers, so we therefore got a lot of easy shots. But we had guys that could play. I mean, I was the key of the team, but there were guys that are around me that could play also. They just didn't get the notoriety that I got.
Well, Coach Boeheim says that you're the one that put Syracuse basketball on the map. And there are a lot of unbelievable talent that followed you after your career was over. But that kind of statement, that carries some momentum with it, I think.
Oh, absolutely, because the kind of career that he had as a coach, I mean, he's seen a lot of players play across the country, but all of the players that came through his program. So to say that makes me feel really good.
A.J. Starling spins out a 3. The Orange still with a 21-point lead, 5 minutes into this second half tonight.
Wes, their defense has been outstanding.
Yep.
It's really tough for the Wolfpack to get any good looks.
Taylor going to draw the foul on the drive. That'll be Mintz's first person. And the third on the Orange here in the second half.
Dave, the other thing that I read, and I found this to be very interesting, that a lot of people who watch basketball now wouldn't realize, but after your first year in the NBA, you went and you had to get another job. And you worked, you played in the NBA, but you had to work another job the whole time.
Money back then wasn't what it is today, that's for sure. I'm happy that these guys are making money. I just hope that they take care of it and they reinvest either in the school that they went to, the community that they're from, because that's really important, because most of us come from the same kind of background. And so I'm happy the guys are making the money that they make today.
Inside, recovery and score. NC State with a basket from Morcell. Of all the honors that you've received, and they're like being on the 50th anniversary of the NBA and the 75th anniversary of the NBA, to me is just a remarkable professional honor. What does this one mean tonight to you?
Well, it probably means it means more to me than a lot of the stuff, because in pro ball, you gotta know what to expect. In college, you just don't know. People forget about you. and people from era to era just don't know who you were and what you did. So for me to come back here and be honored, it's a blessing. It's a real blessing.
Well, I know it meant something to you to have not only the teammates here, but your family as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And a foul called. Battle at the basket. I think they've gotten Brown with the foul. A unique pleasure to have you. Dave, congratulations again.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah, great honor.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to meet you.
Thank you. Thank
real
you.
pleasure. Dave Bing, old number 22, they say for the Orange, right? And now in the ring of honor, DJ Burns off the inbounds pass. Foul a moment ago on Brown. Was his third. First of the second half on Malik Brown. 19-point lead for the Orange, and there's an NC State foul on a Malik Brown drive. And it's on Dennis Parker Jr., the freshman from Richmond. Fifth on Kevin Keats' team. Oh, what a real treat for us.
Oh,
my goodness. That is basketball royalty at every level, my man.
Wes, I grew up in Pittsburgh, and obviously I watched a lot of Eastern basketball. I can still remember on the old black and white TV, the ECAC game of the week. And
what a good call that is.
You know, Syracuse was made frequent appearances, and I got to see Dave Bing play. And, you know, just as a kid, I remember him, and, you know, just a great player.
Three ball from the left. Morcell can't buy it. Horn the backside. Brown missed a couple of free throws there. He's a pretty good free throw shooter, by the way, for the Orange. And now we're going to get a blocking call. And Casey Morcell, who took a spill in the first half, has now ended up in the photographer's well over here along the baseline.
This is just a situation where Judah Mintz loses his balance and trips Casey Morcell, and because he's in the restricted area.
Adrian Autry not happy. He and Brent Hampton with some discussion. And here's Morcell at the line. A couple of free throws. He's 4 for 4 tonight. He's been in double figures 4 times in the last 5. Free throw good. 3.5, 7 in the game for Casey Morcell. Ironic he's fouled by Mintz, by the way. The two grew up very close friends in Fort Washington, Maryland. And Judah Mintz actually visited NC State in part because of Casey Morcell in the recruiting process. We're ending up here at Syracuse. Second, good for Morcell.
Well, of course, to go to Syracuse, he would have been, or to go to NC State as a freshman last year. I mean, Markel Joyner and Terquavion Smith were there.
Yeah.
That'd be tough to break into that lineup.
Yep. Of course, Judah Mintz originally committed to Pitt before coming to Syracuse out of Oak Hill. In the lane, fouled. That's Parker, I believe, on the lean. That'll be the third on Dennis. 6 now on the Wolfpack with 12:59 to go in the ball game.
And Judah Mintz just continues to get fouled. That time he made a back cut. That's the first time, Wes, he's caught the ball inside rather than just dribble it inside.
Yep.
Nice job by Mintz moving without the basketball.
Got a dozen. Free throw number 13. Bounce out. And here comes Breon Pass into the game. He played 3 minutes at Virginia, 2 minutes against Virginia Tech last Saturday after not playing in the previous 5. He'll replace Dennis Parker Jr. Second free throw by Mintz is good.
He's got 13 points, Wes, and he's made 1 field goal.
Yep. And the Orange just broke about a 3-minute scoring drought. Malik Brown almost ended up down here in a seat. Ron Groover, everybody okay? I think so.
Well, they're okay because Malik Brown was able to stop. That's one of the disadvantages of having those seats. Big guys sometimes come rumbling into you.
So Connell pass and Horn with Burns and Morcell, and Burns tried to feed it to Morcell, turned it over.
That's a couple of times now. DJ Burns has just made a bad decision on passing the ball. He's got to take that ball. When he gets that close to the basket, Wes, he's got to shoot it.
Benny Williams on the floor, along with Malik Brown, Starling, Copeland's out there, the sophomore from Philadelphia, and Mintz. And Williams couldn't handle the pass. It's scooped up with 7 to shoot. Misses Copeland. Claudier, foul line, and had it knocked away. What do we got? Nothing. It was a loose ball, and then it's dunked home by Brian Williams. Kevin Keats thought that was a shot clock violation. Guess not.
Well, the ball hit the rim before the horn sounded.
Yep.
And there's what we're talking about with Burns. When he gets the ball inside, he's got to be aggressive with it.
Second field goal for Burns. And we got a foul on pass that'll get us to a timeout. The junior from Reidsville, North Carolina. 7th foul on the Wolfpack. Back to Syracuse in a moment. Well, we welcome you back to the JMA Wireless Dome on a Saturday night in Central New York with Dan Bonner, Wes Durham, Kristen Tennessee, our producer, David Task, our director, and they've thrown us a hoop scoop question tonight. Bonner?
Okay, all right, well, that's a hard question.
When was the last time Syracuse 2 leading scorers were sophomores? Right now, you've got J.J. Starling and Judah Mintz. Malik Brown, you got a bunch of guys contending. Right? But the 2 leading scorers, Mintz at 18-4, Starling at 11-7, right? And here's Mintz at the line for 2. I think it was Dave Bing and Jim Boeheim. I'm going to go back that far.
Wow. I was thinking you'd have to go back prior to Syracuse entering the ACC, but I wasn't going to go quite back that far.
I'm going to go Dave Bing, Jim Boeheim.
Okay.
Mintz, by the way, another free throw. Now 12 at the line tonight on 15 tries.
He has been fouled 8 times. Okay, let's see if you're right.
Hoop scoop. Last time Syracuse 2 leading scorers. Oh, Vince Cohen, 1955. Jim Brown.
Okay.
Holy cow. It was further than I thought. How about that?
So, but I was right. It was before they were in the ACC.
Hey, okay. Put yourself down. Good for you. 13 for Horn. That's his 3rd triple of the night from out on the left. Vince Cohen and Jim Brown.
I would have guessed a long time before I came up with that.
Well, I talked to Boeheim. What do you mean you and Bing couldn't do that? 9 minutes gone practically in this second half. Orange pulled away. And what, by midway the first half, NC State went on a long field goal drought at the end of the first.
Well, one of the reasons that the Orange pulled away is in addition to the contributions they got from Starling, they got a lot of contributions from particularly Chris Bell.
Yeah.
And what you don't want to do with the lead is you don't want to get so, you don't want to have Judah Mintz and J.J. Starling dominating the ball to the exclusion of other players. You got to keep the ball moving. You have to keep your offense flowing.
Yeah. 3rd foul on Mintz, by the way, all here in the second half. 6 on Syracuse. We got 13 fouls on the board in the second half between the 2 schools. O'Connell, a little spot up. Boy, a rough night shooting the ball for NC State. The Wolfpack is under 26% after the missed by O'Connell.
Wow. And Carey, who played a couple minutes in the first half, has done a nice job rebounding the ball.
Yep. Out front here's Starling, who's got 5.5, 19 in the game. JJ through traffic, turns, shoots, bounds away. Here's O'Connell ahead for Breon, pass, little one time, and it rolled off the iron.
Boy, Mintz took a chance there, Wes, with those 3 fouls.
Sure did. Got a big lead to work with though, Dan.
He was.
Yep.
Wes, and again, Mintz has been very productive getting in there and drawing fouls, but he's got to make sure that he gets other guys involved, and the other guys have to move so he can get them involved.
Yep. It's one of the things that Adrian Autry and his staff have been working through with players and with Judah Mintz. And there's Burns. He's fouled by Carey, I believe. When it gets to the block, Peter Carey's playing uphill.
I think Peter Carey's playing uphill the whole time against him.
7th foul will be 1-1 for NC State with 10:06 to go. And Burns will get to the stripe here. First trip for DJ Burns, who's 62% on the year. Did not start tonight for Kevin Keats. came off the bench in both halves, missed the front end there. Copeland the rebound.
Well, you don't often say when you're doing an NC State game that DJ Burns has been a non-factor offensively, but that's the situation tonight.
And there's a foul on Burns, challenging Copeland on the drive.
And that's a situation where the Wolfpack just didn't get back on defense.
Yep.
I mean,
Copeland to the line for the first time here, Dan.
That's a missed free throw, but a good outlet pass, but you got to get back.
Yep, absolutely. Well, the shooting woes of these two teams have been well documented. They came in 12th and 13th in ACC play in field goal percentage. Copeland missed the free throw. NC State was 41.4%, Syracuse 41.9%. I mean, they're right there. They were 14th and 15th in three-point field goal shooting percentage in conference play.
Well, Wes, and tonight, NC State shooting at 24% overall, and Syracuse only at 37%.
Yeah. 19-point lead. It's kind of been in this area since it was 16 at halftime. There's Burns with the bucket. He has 6 now in the ball game. Backcourt pressure offered by Keats' team. Gruber had to keep Kevin a moment ago from being the 6th man on the floor for his team. Here's Copeland, a lot. Whoa, Benny Williams.
Wow.
Yep.
Yes, when a team presses you, you got to make them pay for it, and Syracuse just did.
Copeland on a fantastic lob. Breon pass, a terrific shot. And drive to the basket. Pass his 5th field goal of the year.
When the Orange continue to push the ball up, Wes.
Yep, look at the pass from Copeland to Peter Carey.
I think he surprised Carey.
Mintz with pass there. Long 2 at the front. Spins out.
Kevin Keats telling his guys, go.
Taylor rings in the 3. Both the field goals tonight for Jaden Taylor are 3-pointers.
And Taylor's a guy that's not shot the 3 well in conference play. Coming in at 23%.
Back to 14 with 8.5 to go.
Wes, we've got a lot of time left in this game.
And this is not unfamiliar territory to NC State.
No.
They find a way sometimes to crawl back from double digits. Here's Williams, a catch and a reverse. It's good. Wow, 2 highlight plays from Benny Williams.
That was a remarkable catch, Wes, because that ball was not particularly well thrown. He got him caught under the basket.
Here's Burns working on Carey. Left hand scores. 8 for Burns. And a timeout with under 8 to go. 59-45, but Benny Williams, Dan, been the guy here for the Orange.
Wes, he makes a great catch here. He's under the basket. Gets that to go in, and then this is a priceless reaction.
Carolina take on their arch-rival, the Duke Blue Devils.
The premier rivalry in all of college basketball.
Duke Carolina, it always delivers.
Yes, Jay Billis, it does. We'll see you next Saturday night on ESPN at 6:30. First half, second half for Kevin Keats' team. Shooting is better, Dan, and they're within 14. It feels like the next 4 minutes, pretty critical if the Wolfpack are going to try and dig back in.
Well, Syracuse had a 21-point lead with 15:55 left in the half. So in the last 8 minutes, NC State has chopped that lead to 14, and they're playing better defensively. They're making some shots. And Syracuse has been a little less efficient on offense.
Right. Benny Williams has 6.5. Mintz has 7. 5 for Starling, and here is Mintz on 2. Just his 2nd field goal of the ball game, by the way. 17 now for Mintz.
Did you see DJ Burns doing the best he could to get back, and he just wasn't anywhere close to fast enough?
Nope.
Mintz went right by him.
In the corner, Morcell a 3. Too strong. Brown kept it alive, but here's Taylor. Step in 2, and no good. Burns slapped it out. Horn will gladly fire away. 3 threes in the half. 16 now for DJ Horn.
Wes, we talked at halftime about how the Horn had to get it going, and he has. But that was great rebounding by North Carolina State, just battling to keep the ball alive.
13-point game, just ahead of 7 to play. Here's Mintz. Fall away at the foul line, and it drops. Judah Mintz now, 19.
I think that's the best part of his game, the ability to get in that lane and shoot that jump shot.
Taylor for Burns with Brown defending. There goes Burns. Kick out. Taylor thought about it. Digs in. Back to DJ Burns. Soft layup with the left hand.
You know, if you're guarding DJ Burns, you have to think twice about helping out on a guy driving to the basket. Yep. Burns has such great hands. He catches the ball so well and then has that soft touch.
13-point game.
Haven't heard from Starling in a while.
Nope, have not. Heard from Benny Williams, though.
That's a great pass.
8.5, 10 in the ball game for Williams. He had 15 in this building against Pitt. It's his best performance in the ACC this year. On the drive, and look at L.J. Thomas get to the basket. 8th field goal of the year. First points tonight for the sophomore from Plant City, Florida.
And it's great that North Carolina State is getting the offense in gear, but you can't trade baskets with the Orange.
Not at the margin you got. There's Copeland, but we got a Brent Hampton foul out in the midcourt area. Well, don't forget Tuesday night, another ACC Network doubleheader comes your way. The Orange will be at Conti Forum, Chestnut Hill, second meeting of the year with Boston College at 7 o'clock. Mike Monaco, Randolph Childress to be there. Dan and I'll be at Little John Coliseum. Clemson will be ready to go. Remember, they heard so much about the loss at Louisville last year. Only meeting of the year, Cards and Tigers at 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday night. It's on ACC Network and always available for you on the ESPN app. The foul was on Horn. It's his third. Copeland missed the front end of the 1-and-1 on the 9th foul. Copeland only a single point, and NC State a basket in transition.
Wes, and it's 11.
Sure is. Morcell's second field goal of the night. 6.5, 10 in the game for Casey. Here's Mintz with Horn trying to stay with him. Burns will help. Here's Horn trying to lock down Mintz, and a foul on Morcell. Trying to flick it away. Second on Casey Morcell. 10 on the pack with 5:11 to go. So 2 free throws for Judah Mintz.
I think
Stop me if you've heard that he goes to the line.
I think this is the 10th time that he's been fouled. And Wes, the key there is it's the 10th foul, so every time they go on a common foul now, it'll be a 2-shot foul.
That's it. Free throw no good.
So they just left 3 points at the line, missed the front end of the 1-and-1, and now missed that one.
Yep. You don't have to tell those guys sitting over there, do you?
No, they're well aware of that.
Absolutely. Second and good for Mintz. 20 now for Mintz. 10th game with 20 for Judah Mintz. 19 for Starling. There goes Horn, flips it up, nope. And the rebound pulled down by Malik Brown. Under 5 to play, and it's a 12-point game. Here's Mintz on a reroute.
That's a nice job in transition. That's where he's most dangerous, and Morcell in particular handled that very well.
10 to shoot for the Orange. Back out for Starling. Launching, hitting. 8.5 and 22 in the game for J.J. Starling. And quickly at the other end, Thomas on the board.
You can't relax after you do that. That's a killer basket by Starling at the end of the shot clock, but NC State responds immediately. But Wes, you got to get stops if you're the Wolfpack.
Absolutely, and here's the Orange again, taking that clock down. Starling has equaled his season high. He's one off his career high, and there's Copeland's first field goal of the ball game.
That was just a great pass. I don't know how he saw it.
15 the difference. Morcell on the drive and scores. Tough shot. Casey Morcell now with a dozen. 71-58. And here goes Copeland again. Oh my goodness. And that is Parker that took a nasty spill after the Wolfpack foul.
I think the foul might have been on Burns.
Tony Henderson is having a discussion here. Parker is able to get to his feet. So Tony Henderson is coming out from underneath with Ron Groover.
Now Ron Groover is staring daggers at DJ Horn. I don't know what he said.
And they're going to look here and see what we get.
Copeland going to the basket. Oh. Now Parker comes and trips over Copeland. There's no foul there. I think the issue here, watch DJ Horn. He wraps his arm around him. Right there, he wraps that arm around him. That could very well be a flagrant foul. Excuse me, DJ Burns. You got too many DJs out there.
So
Burns wrapped his arm around him.
So they're going to look at this. And we're at the under 4 break. Syracuse by 13. Back after this.
So this is the play that caused all the problem. DJ Burns comes from behind and wraps up Copeland. Now Parker, he just is, that's collateral damage. He just falls over top. But here's they ruled it a flagrant 1 foul, and it's contact that's excessive and or unnecessary. Also not a legitimate attempt to play the ball and a holder push from behind. We had all 3 of those.
So Copeland's going to get a couple of free throws. Orange will get the ball behind that. And you see the details with 3:41 to go and a 13-point lead.
And a chance for Syracuse here to put a serious dent into NC State's comeback chance.
Yep. But here Copeland, the hero of the Miami game a week ago. 3-point shot from out on the left. And he missed the first of the 2 free throws here.
That's his 2nd consecutive miss from the line.
And you talked him into that one.
So he's now missed 3 in a row, and the first miss was the front end of a 1-and-1.
73% free throw shooter coming in. He is 1 for 5 tonight. Copeland struggled here on.
If NC State can get a stop here, Wes, this is it'll be a significant assist for the Wolfpack.
Inbounds for Mintz, or Brown rather, and back to Judah Mintz. L.J. Thomas defending the sophomore. And they're going to foul on the orange here.
On Malik Brown, I think. Illegal screen.
That's 4 on Brown with 3:29 to play.
He just turns right into him. You got to stop.
Zoned by the orange.
Well, that's a surprise this year, but not for the last 47.
Burns and can't finish at the foul line. Last touch, I believe, Copeland trying to keep it alive for the home team.
Of course, Syracuse didn't play zone for all those 47 years.
Right.
But that became a staple.
Here's Parker, Morcell, all the way to the basket. Blocked by Williams. Kevin Keats wanted to goaltend.
Well, they didn't call one, West, so that means they can't review it.
10th block of the year in conference play for Benny Williams. He leads the orange.
This is just a situation where now Mintz is going to take it down as far as he can.
Orange have hit their last 6 from the floor. There's a turnover. Here's Morcell with Starling to beat on the layup. Casey Morcell. 14 tonight for the grad student.
And we're back to 11, Wes. And Taylor is a tough guy to take one-on-one.
Here is Mintz.
And you don't want to stall your offense out here.
Skips it around for Starling's 3. Rebound Thomas. Here's a look away, and this is Parker. Basket good. Second field goal, 5 points for Dennis Parker. Mintz in the backcourt, and we're going to get a hell ball. Possession to the Wolfpack with 2:07 to go, and it's a 9-point game.
Wow. Wes, as you said before, we've seen this from the Wolfpack time and time again.
They did it the other night, got the Virginia game to overtime. they did it at South Bend, won the game. And out of bounds goes Parker after it was mishandled with Copeland defending.
Good idea.
Free possession, they can't do anything with it.
Good idea by Parker to try to drive the ball to the basket, but there just wasn't any room there.
Under 2 to play. Remember, every foul by the Wolfpack is 2 shots. And a reach in, L.J. Thomas and Dennis Parker around J.J. Starling. It's going to be on Thomas. It's his 3rd. And J.J. Starling's going to go to the line. He's got a season high 22. He's 1 off his career high of 23. And he got a year ago while playing at Notre Dame.
He caught a break right there, Wes, because he was in a really tough spot.
First points for the Orange in the last 2 minutes and change. Starling has just tied his career high on his first free throw of the night. And now a chance for a new career high. And he got it. And I don't know about the rest of the team, but J.J. Starling got the Jerry McNamara secret sauce today. My goodness. Kick out for Horn, 3-ball. And they battle at the iron. It's out for Horn again. He'll launch over Starling, too strong. Williams the rebound for the Orange. 95 seconds left and an 11-point lead. And there's Copeland to catch and flush.
That was a great look by Judah Mintz.
13-point game. Few of the faithful grabbing their hat and coat. Next stop, the exit. Thomas, Morcell, a standing 3. Tapped out. Here's Starling on the run out and into the front court. Adrian Autry says slow it down, and there's a Parker foul. 4 on the freshman, and free throws for J.J. Starling.
At this point, if you're North Carolina State, that's really the only option you have left. They made a run at it. They cut it under double digits. But they just got too far behind.
Dan, tell you what, NC State had a chance tonight with a win here to be in a 3-way tie for 3rd with Florida State and Virginia at 6-3 in the league. And you see the Orange tonight with a win are going to join a 3-way tie for 7th with Miami and Virginia Tech, who are also 5-4. It'll be the 4th win in the last 6 games for Adrian Autry's team. What a night for Starling. Started out hot and has taken it to a career high. Under a minute to go and the game is 15 now. And NC State has backed off just a touch defensively here. Wolfpack, by the way, will welcome the Canes to PNC Arena on Tuesday night and then Georgia Tech next Saturday. Feels like a pretty big 2 games for State, huh?
I think a huge 2 games. Stepped on the line.
Yep. And that will send it back to the Wolfpack with a half minute and change to go. Syracuse is at Boston College on Tuesday night. You'll see that game on ACC Network. They beat the Eagles by 10 January the 10th. And then in Winston-Salem next Saturday for the only meeting of the year. Here's Thomas for 3, and it's good. 4th 3 of the year for L.J. Thomas.
Kevin Keats told his guys not to foul.
Yep. And here is Mintz. He will dribble it out. And Syracuse is going to post a 12-point win tonight. 77-65 the final. J.J. Starling and Judah Mintz get 46 of the 77 tonight for Adrian Autry's team.
Well, Wes, but they had 4 guys in double figures. Really big contributions from Bell in the first half and Benny Williams in the second half.
Orange is now 10-1 at home. And Boston College on Tuesday night. The Wolfpack back home to Raleigh to meet Miami on Tuesday night. Great to be with Dan Bonner. Thanks to our producer, Kristen Hennessy. Our director tonight, David Tasca. Wes Durham from the JMA Wireless Dome. A 12-point win for the Orange at 77-65. Here's Kelsey Riggs.
Welcome back into Nothing But Net. Let's go NC State Syracuse. Game you saw right here on ACC Network. Hey, Coach Boeheim. Hey, Dave Bing, who was honored by Syracuse. Saw that earlier in the show. You haven't seen this yet, though. Chris Bell drilling it from the corner. Then Bell playing a little defense, turning it around the other side, Boost.
Oh, that was beautiful.
That was almost on the free throw line.
Looked like me back when I was 17, baby.
Capped off a 13-0 run. Then J.J. Starling, career high 26 points. They were just getting whatever they wanted. Syracuse cruises to victory, 77-65. Here's West Durham, Dan Bonner with J.J. Starling.
The unit, guarding them on the defensive end, and that led to offensive possessions for us. It was easy, so credit to them. They're a really good team, but we worked together to stop.
Well, 10-1 in this building now, 4-1 against the ACC. I know you disappointed the other night, but it feels like you guys are building a little momentum with two big road games coming.
Yeah, for sure. We played really good teams, Florida State, and then obviously NC State, and then we have another tough one on Tuesday against Boston College. So, it's good to get these home wins against really good teams and then going into, opponents' buildings.
Yeah.
Well, now you've had some injury issues, but do you feel like your team is really starting to gel?
Yeah, for sure. Our chemistry is definitely growing. We knew it was going to be a little shaky in the beginning, but with time, we grew with each other, and we're trusting each other along the way.
Well, terrific win tonight for the Orange, by the way, and J.J. Starling set it off.
He sure did. Career high day with those 26 points. And really, right out the gate, this Syracuse team seemed to be getting whatever they wanted. Booz, what'd you like about the way that they played and took care of the ball against NC State?
Yeah, just great job of taking care of the ball. Judah Mintz doing a good job of 9 assists again. These assists keep going up and up. He's playmaking for his teammates. And he shot 20 free throws. Terrific job attacking the basket, putting, again, the onus on the referees. And then J.J. Starling was outstanding, man. Did a great job of knocking down shots from all over the court. Chris Bell obviously helped that. That windmill was beautiful. But they just did a good job at home, and especially on Dave Bing night. Like, come on, great job, guys. You got coach in the building, Coach Boeheim. Terrific job, Syracuse Orange.
Yeah, Syracuse did a really good job of just being aggressive. And when you talk about not turning over the ball against an NC State team that thrives off of turnovers, you can get quality shots, and that's what they were doing tonight. And then what I like about Judah Mintz is that he had 9 assists. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? You're getting your guys involved. Now go be aggressive. And that's what he did. He started out with 5 assists, and then he started getting busy. And that's what you have to do when you're a great player and you have such an impact on your team and on the game. You get everyone else involved, and then you go get yours. And then you have a guy like J.J. Starling that you're playing next to with 26 points that stepped up and contributed as well. So just an all-around great effort from Syracuse.
Yeah, we working out. Let's get motivated. Yeah, we working out. Let's get